But just
I'm right here.
a lot of stuff happening at RWA, of course. I know you were a part of that big incident a couple of months ago. We had the Rev on, and actually, no, actually, now I'm thinking about it. You were called out when the Rev was on after the last RWA show.
Was I? Oh, yeah, that's right. I was accused of hiding under the ring,
Yes,
which
for
is
those who don't remember, after the last RWA show was in November, they weren't able to have a December show after all the calamity that happened after the J Rock and O'Shea Edwards match, and everything just kind of fell apart after that for the most part, right? So you were out there in the brawl. I saw you going at Great Alexander for a little bit, and then we did find video evidence shortly after that of you. And I love there was like an illustration. I forget who did it, like circling you with your head outside, peeking out from under the skirt, if you will. And I mean, what is your side of the story there?
that I think the quality of that video is terrible.
It was a fan
It's
cam.
2020. Yeah, it's terrible. They were using their flip phone. It was horrible.
No, that's the
For you to,
promoter.
for, okay, for those of you that don't know, flip phones they go like this, and then you talk on them, but you can't do any of the fun stuff like look on the internet. It's just a phone, and they had a camera. It's terrible. But yeah, no, that doesn't even look like it. It's all distorted and everything. No, that's ridiculous.
Who
No,
could have it
that's
been?
absurd.
Who could have it been on that
I
roster?
have no idea. It was probably Jacob Edwin. That's who it was. It had
You
to have been
know,
Jacob Edwin.
I,
What?
I will say, I believe you, Justin.
Thank you.
Because that
Thanks.
guy, he pretends to be a professor, and he's not. So I could absolutely see him hiding under a ring skirt.
Exactly.
He's a
Exactly.
phony. He's
Yep.
a
Exactly.
big fat phony.
That's true.
I want to see his certificate, his teaching certificate, or whatever they
Oh,
get. I don't know.
Justin, I've asked repeatedly.
Yeah.
Repeatedly, I ran that man off the show.
Yes. Oh, yes. That's right. He did a segment with you guys.
Mhm.
So yeah, exactly. You know how kind of character he is. And
Yep.
it was probably Jacob Edwin. It definitely was not me. Rev, what an idiot. Yeah, Rev and me, we don't get along really well. But you know, what are you gonna do? But anywho, yeah. So anywho, but I was fined actually because of like a few of us got fined for damaging the building. Someone damaged some of your equipment, huh, Sword? Who
Yeah,
was that?
yeah, I wasn't happy about that. I got J Rock was throwing around some of our headsets, and had to take care of that. Still waiting on the bill, the response to the bill for that one. So I'm hoping we don't have another Bobby Fish situation here.
Right.
So.
Yeah, Tad Jarvis, I think, threw one of your speakers.
Yes, yes.
But then I got accused of damaging some of the chairs, and because I don't know, I think it's just because they caught certain guys doing certain things on camera, and we just happen to be the scapegoats. Like someone's got to go down for it. Here's these particular guys doing these heinous things, so we're gonna punish them. I mean, I guess I understand the point. It sucks, but I'll pay the fine and all. But whatever, you know. It's whatever. As long as the Rev got fined too, that's all I care about. I can't believe he broke the concession stand. All those people in West Newton, where are they going to get their chips now? Their chips and soda. How are they going to eat? I mean,
yeah, the Ryan Edmonds Memorial Concession Stand. And again, to reiterate, so there was a big 3-man suplex happening on there, and it was a giant oak table. And I did find footage. I was actually tuned into the live stream over at the IndyWrestling.us YouTube page, where we show a lot of old shows. And I saw like Dennis Gregory and I think Ryan Mitchell fighting, and one of them gets suplexed on like the other table by the entrance, which is basically like the same kind of big oak thing. And I'm like, that thing didn't budge. Okay, and that those guys broke that one, and they didn't like bust it. It just went like that, like it just moved, right? It's just not as structurally sound as it used to be. I have a feeling it's completely usable, right? I'm sure somebody's grandma made that 20 years ago, 50 years ago, whatever.
I don't know. It was posted on the RWA page recently. There was a video, the Rev's apology video.
Oh, I haven't seen this yet.
Yeah, what is this?
Is he the only one that'll apologize? Because I'm pretty sure both O'Shea and J Rock are like both F this.
No, yeah, I don't know. They asked me to, and I might, but I don't know, just to save face, you know. But yeah, but the Rev obviously is the first one, Mister Mr. Rev. I'm not gonna say it no more. No. I think he's a phony. I've been saying it for years. On this show, I've said on other promotions. I don't know.
Well, so you're really involved with RWA, of course, and I got to talk about a little bit about, because I know working with you with previous with Fight Underground, and I know you're working on some other projects. Um, I want to point out like the appreciation for how much you have gotten into content creation around pro wrestling. I mean, you are what are you, a 20+ year vet in the business here?
23 years now.
23
Yeah.
years.
This
And,
month. No, on the 10th of this month.
and I know we've had a lot of conversations over the last couple of years here about things like you've really like between the videos, between the social media, like you've really kind of taken and latched onto a lot of these. Can you tell a little about like it's kind of a little bit of a wrestling media renaissance for you, it seems.
Yeah. I'm getting older in the business, and it's kind of my way to stay, in the business.
Mm-hmm.
Like obviously I can get bookings and everything, but my body's getting older. I'm getting older, my body's getting much older, and and I have a passion for content creation. Obviously, like you do, you know exactly what I'm talking
Yeah.
about. And it's not at the level of you, obviously, but it's something I've always had a passion about doing. And now that my wrestling is slowing down, my bookings are slowing down, it gives me more time to focus on this, and kind of like a hobby and everything. Also gives you a little bit of a break too, because I can do some graphics, and now you don't have to worry about that kind of stuff. So,
the more,
but
the
yeah,
more
I like
help.
doing it. It's kind of like a hobby.
Mm-hmm.
It's more like a hobby. I actually have a lot of hobbies. That, and I also do thrifting, um, things like that. So there's a lot more time opening up because I've been taking a lot less bookings. But it's definitely a passion project, that's for sure.
So of course we know, friends of ours in the business, like Lee Moriarty. I know he's a guy that I think, I don't know if he went to school for it, but he was really big into graphic design and video, and was learning stuff. And I was like, I remember one time I talked to him. He's like, yeah, I'm doing all my videos in After Effects, and I'm like, why do you hate yourself? Because he was doing just video editing it, and that's, if it's not the easiest to just do video editing in, like he was doing, and he was doing some really great stuff. So, from what you've learned, what do you see as the value of kind of media creation for the up and comers in wrestling right now?
Um, Before I get to that, Lee is actually the one who designed my One Cool Cat logo.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, and I paid him for it and everything. He wanted to do it with, he's just such a nice guy, and he was like, no, don't worry about it. And I'm like, no, I absolutely are going to pay you for it because he did a service.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone should do that. Especially for a friend, you should always want to pay a friend. Try to help them out. Like it's like supporting small business. Well, Lee's now big business now. So,
Yes, he is. Now we're all asking Lee for loans.
right? Yeah, but I definitely with all the apps that are out there and free versions, you should absolutely learn how to use these apps, these video editing software, everything. Go on YouTube, take a free class. No, it's not a class, but watch tutorials. That's probably the better word. You absolutely should, because this is the age of social media. You should always be, you're only as good as you make yourself look. No one's going to do it for you. So I would take advantage of everything and anything you can. Like my basement, at 23 years in, at 40 years old, I have a green screen in my basement just against one wall. Um, and the great thing about my basement is I have like 8 walls down there, so I only have one wall taken up. So it's not that bad. I think a lot of people could spare one wall. There's nothing I hate more than seeing someone cut a promo in front of like a bookshelf, with the Twilight Saga hanging out behind them, a kitty litter box over their left shoulder. It's kind of like, whoa, wow, okay, this is some serious stuff right here.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I believe you should definitely take advantage of these situations. They're not hard to learn. The simple software, the simple apps, they're very easy to learn. But yeah, everyone should take advantage of it. Everyone should be doing it. It should be part of the training.
I think it's part of that, because I know one big thing we talk about is we have Riz is in the chat on the Twitch page saying iPhone vertical car phone video promos. So I had to send a little note to somebody that kept sending me vertical videos. I'm like, hey, can we turn the phone the other way? Like I can
Gonna
work
kill
around
you.
it, but so it's like most will figure that out these days. It's like, hey, this is for TikTok or it's not, which is funny because then I end up putting them on TikTok anyways. Um, it actually funny you should say that. So we're actually, I was going to do it over the holiday, but I got a little busy. We're actually going to do, I'm going to do a video tutorial because everybody's got one of these, right? iPhone, Android, whatever. I think you're an Android person, right?
I
So,
am. Yes.
so,
Yes.
so
Android for life.
you all, even if you have an iPhone and it has the most recent OS, if you got an Android and video quality can be a little bit weird every once in a while, but like you have everything you need right here to do things. So we're looking like make your own GIFs, make your own clips, make your own highlight videos right on like free stuff on the phone for the most part, or cheap, or cheap. Like there's not too many apps that you need that would be more than $10. So
Yeah. I
um,
recommend KindMaster. That's the one I use a lot when I'm on my cell phone. KindMaster. KINE Master. And
mhm.
I pay it's like $20 a year. And they have
I've seen that with the watermark for the people that haven't paid it.
yeah,
So,
I'm like, it's $20 a year.
I'm
Are
like,
you
bro,
kidding me?
bro,
Invest in yourself.
throw it to yes. And it's not even like it's not like dropping hundreds of dollars to get T-shirts for the table, right? It's
Right.
$20 for a year, and
Right.
something that you're going to use and learn and create. And even that like iMovie, at least on the iPhone side, right? Adobe Rush, things like that are really easy to pick up and do the most minimal thing to get you going, and then you'll learn the next thing, and then you learn the next thing. It's the baby steps. What's the little things that you can do, right?
Yeah.
So, with that, I also so I wanted to dip a little bit into. You're also doing Dungeons and Dragons. I think we're. I know we had a cancellation in the last month because somebody had got sick, so we wanted to make sure everybody's safe and everything, especially around the holidays. I feel like everybody on Awesome Cast, like half the people on Awesome Cast, apparently got sick over the holidays. So it's so everybody be careful out there. But you've been working with D&D. This has been another. I'm guessing this is another one of your hobbies too. Working with us, coming in here doing top rope tabletop with Keith Hott as the dungeon master, and of course Tatiana, Tyler Klein, and a few more. Tell us a little bit about that. I think we've had you on there talking about it before. But why does that make so much sense, and why should people check it out later in the month when we finally get this date confirmed?
Well, I don't. I mean, Dungeons and Dragons goes with wrestling, just like video games goes with wrestling. It's
Mm-hmm.
just, we're all a big bunch of nerds. Nerds. I don't know. Yes, Dungeons. I don't know. If you've never played Dungeons and Dragons, it's something that it's essentially another. It's just another form of entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
Wrestlers are going out there. The Undertaker. I'm sorry to break this to you, people. He's not really dead. I know it's tough. I know it comes as a shock. I know. Calm down.
What?
Calm down. Calm down. He's just a man acting dead. I don't. Yeah, near the end of his career, I don't even know if he considered himself a dead man
You gotta keep
anymore.
face, brother. Can't tell people
Yeah,
that shit.
I know. I know. But it's just like Dungeons and Dragons is the same thing. Going out there and you're playing a character. But this time with Top Rope Tabletop, as you guessed it, it's with a lot of wrestlers, a lot of local indie wrestlers. They go out there and we're playing Dungeons and Dragons. Keith Hott is our dungeon master or the storyteller. This is the best way probably to put it, the simplest way to put it. And the members of the actual game are Tyler Klein. Let's see, Gideon. Gideon. What's his the Bard?
Tony Kincaid.
Yeah, Tony Kincaid. I've been calling him Bard for so long, my mind just drew a blank. I just call him Bard. Myself, Tatiana, and Brohemoth. And occasionally we'll have a guest, or we've been trying to have guests, but things have been coming up and have prevented that.
Mm-hmm.
And it's been difficult with COVID and everything, but it's definitely very entertaining. It's just like watching a mayhem show. There's a lot of jokes being cracked, little inside jokes, a lot of sexual innuendos, Ronnie, things like that. It's a good time. You should definitely turn into it at least once, just so you can decide and make an educated guess if you like it or not.
Mm-hmm.
You had me at sexual windows.
See, here you
go. I mean, you heard how he came into the show, right? I mean,
exactly.
Come on. So, But anyways, no. So look at it's Top Rope Tabletop. What's been the biggest surprise for you with Top Rope Tabletop so far?
Man,
Other than
how
schedule, other than scheduling being so hard.
yeah, other than yeah, no, yeah, no. I'm surprised at how much I genuinely like it. I never. This is my first time playing Dungeons and Dragons. I've done role playing before. I've done tabletop games before. Cyberpunk was what I used to play back in the day. But this is my first time playing Dungeons and Dragons. It took some getting used to, but I'm actually just surprised at how much I genuinely like it. And you see hear and see a lot of celebrities play this. I mean, the Big Show, he plays.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of wrestlers play. A lot of actors play. Uh, it's I think the biggest shock for me was I didn't think that I'd be into it as much as I truly am. You know, who was it? I was having an argument with someone about the girl I was dating. I was talking to her saying how I'm a nerd. She's like, no, you're not. I was like, yeah, I am. She's like, you're not a nerd. You look, you're cute, and you don't, you're not a nerd. And I said something. She said, you're not a nerd again. And finally, I was just like, I play Dungeons and Dragons. And she was like, okay, you're a nerd. And I wear that with a badge of honor. I love it, because it's genuinely fun. It's such a good time. Everyone should be playing it.
Absolutely. I'll let you know that I did while I was going through some stuff in the house the other day. Came across my Vampire Dark Ages book. So I'm just going to throw that out there. So if anybody else knows how to DM that stuff, I'm familiar. It's probably the longest campaign I ever worked on. Was that one more than Dungeons and Dragons? I've only dropped into Dungeons and Dragons here and there. So yeah.
Is that one of the campaigns?
No, it's a whole other thing. There's a vampire stuff. I don't know if probably more popular is Vampire the Masquerade. I think is a kind of spin-off of that. So, yeah, it was kind of fun. It was kind of fun, and our DM at the time was really good with voices. So we still pop some jokes from back then.
I would like to try DMing. I think I could be good storytelling.
Be good
at storytelling. Keith is just fantastic. I would like to give it a shot.
I still want to do the wrestling RPG that we had I have digital copies of it, and we had the maker of it. And he does several RPG games. Several years ago. So, and I think he did a session with us too on Google Hangout. I think that we played. That was a lot of fun. So, but that was kind of the idea, which came into that. We're starting to have this conversation because I always wanted to get wrestlers together to do the wrestling RPG and see how that came out under that system, right? So, and Riz is confirming in the Twitch chat. He's like, yes, we did do that. So it's over. It's over on the YouTube somewhere.
Extreme Warfare Revenge.
No, I will have to look it up and tell you what the name is.
It was years ago.
Yeah, it was years ago.
I was gonna say I was jealous because I wanted to be a part of it, but I wasn't. Had to kind of be there.
That's how long. Well, no, you did. We did over Google Hangout.
Maybe I was working then or something.
Yeah, I think you were working or something. I think that was the.
Actually, yeah, it's probably so long ago where I was working my night job.
The hiatus era of Mad Mike on the show, right? So
and for some people, those are the best times.
Especially Dixie Carter. It was.
We should start a EFED and have everybody role play.
Oh my God.
That's been thrown around for quite a while.
That's a you guys project. I don't got the bandwidth for that one.
I haven't EFED in a long time.
Jeez, I'm looking in my Google Drive to see.
Ronnie, I gotta send you some of my old EFED stuff.
I'll find mine and send it to you too.
I have merch from my EFEDing character.
I do too.
On that note, just an idol, one cool cat on all social media, or one cool cat forever. I think on a couple of them too. Is that right?
Yeah, most of it now is all because I think that's another thing. Wrestlers out there, you should try to get your handles all the same, as close as possible to being the same.
Yes.
It's very frustrating when you have multiple. But it's one cool cat forever on Facebook and Instagram, and it's one cool cat forever because Twitter wouldn't let me have any more letters. So on Twitter, yeah.
There you go. And of course, you're going to be a part of, I believe, of the is it the 13th anniversary of Renegade Wrestling Alliance coming up here on January 22nd in West Newton, Pennsylvania.
Yes, I will be there. I don't know if I'm booked on the show. I think that's kind of one of my punishments. So
Okay,
I
okay.
don't know for sure. I've been in talks with Derek, and I might be being punished, but I will be there, but I may not have a match. I don't know. It's still up in the air. We'll see what happens.
By the way, I just to follow up on our conversation earlier, I did find that RPG. If you go to WrestlingMayhemShow.com and you look, actually, if you just type in RPG, so, um, you'll find Worldwide Wrestling, the role playing game. We have an interview with Nathan Paoletta that put the game together, and then we have a Let's Play Worldwide Wrestling. And it's a role playing game session we did with Nathan actually DMing his own game. So that's it's from February of 2016, and we interviewed him November of 2015. And there's been an expansion pack since, I believe. I think I got it off of Kickstarter actually, and you can check that out at ndpdesign.com. Let's make sure that domain still works.
2016.
2016, yeah.
Yeah, that's
You're trying to figure out where you were.
That's definitely several jobs ago.
Yes. Oh my God, that was 8 years.
I actually thought it would have been longer. When you were talking about it, I thought it was going to be longer than that.
Yeah, I thought it was too.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, the last 2 years feel like a decade. So,
That's fair.
I mean,
That's
really.
fair.
I mean, really.
Yes,
And yeah,
true.
they do. They actually have a second edition you can get.